Hey guys, welcome to Southern California. We are on Highway 1 above or close to Los Angeles. We are doing a review of the 2025 Honda NT1100 US version. I'm going to point out some features and then we'll get on the road and I will talk about it some more. First and foremost, we have a 17-inch front wheel. The US version only comes in DCT. We get suspension, we get preload on the forks and preload knob for the rear shock, which is right here. We get a key, we get a UCSB-A, we get self-canceling turn signals, heated grips, cruise control, auto Android and auto CarPlay, and what else do we get? Oh, we get a 5-position windscreen. Now, I'm very tall, so I put this doohickey on here. What else do we have on here that is of note? The shining part is the 1100cc parallel twin 270 crank engine from the African Twin. Now, the US version, we do not get the integrated turn signals. The body style is a little bit different. And for all of the world, 2025 Africa Twin and Goldwing got wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. We don't have that, so that's why I have this little bag here. I put my phone in here, and then I just connect it here, and then I get it on the screen there. Let's get on the road. I'm sorry about the weather. I thought it would be burned off by now, but we're going to head down to Malibu and look at all the burned buildings, all the fire damage. Won't that be fun? So let's get on here. I'm going to put it into D for drive. All right, here we are. Cruising down Highway 1 on the 2025 Honda NT1100. I haven't stated that already. And I'm looking at my GoPro, trying to check it out. Make sure it's pointed correctly. I think it is. I haven't done this moto vlog stuff in a while. But, yeah. So, Scott, why did you buy an NT1100? Well, let's start with the engine. I am a sucker for engines. I want to try out all the engines that I can. And even though I come from a background of inline fours and smooth, small cylinders popping up and down, the torque of the twins and parallel twins and opposed twins have garnered my interest a lot, and they are great for torque. So I don't really need a high revving engine. I don't need to go super fast. I need to go fast in the mountains, and I like a lot of torque, and that's what this provides, this 1100. It's a great engine, and I almost got an Africa Twin, but I held out thinking after I lambasted Honda for about a year to bring this to America, because this is the #1 selling sport tourer in Europe. And all we have in America is the Goldwing in 5 versions of the Rebel 1100, which no one needs in their life at all. Some of us who ride motorcycles just want a motorcycle. We don't want a cruiser, we don't want an adventure bike, we don't want some big 800-pound touring bike, we just want a motorcycle. And that's what this is. In the sport tourer, you throw on a fairing, maybe some saddlebags, but still a motorcycle. And I was very happy that they brought it here. And then the most important thing I forgot to state was the MSRP, $12K for this. $12K. That is a stonking deal for what this bike offers. So let's see, we talked about the engine, and it is a low compression ratio engine, and you can run regular fuel, and when you go around the world, you don't have to worry about the octane or the condition of the fuel. So we talked about the engine. I love the engine. The engine does vibrate quite a bit when you first get it, so hence the bar ends here. But once you get about 2,000 to 3,000 miles on it, it goes away. I mean, it's still a vibey engine. All these torquey engines are vibey, but just know that when you first get it, there's going to be a lot of vibration compared to when it's after get a few thousand miles on it. But it is a great engine, and I mean, I can keep up with the best of them. There's no issue there. Now let's talk about suspension. These low-end types of bike, usually they don't have any suspension settings or options for the front. I hate that. You get preload for the front forks. It helps a lot to get this bike balanced. The bike comes from the factory very soft, but you can up the preload in the rear, up the preload in the front, and get the bike balanced, and it is pretty good. The other thing about the suspension is the dampening is, you know, it's not an expensive style of suspension, so you're not going to get a big smooth carpet ride that you would get on a $30,000 bike. But again, this is a $12,000 bike, and I'm having a great time. So going long distance on this is going to be okay for me. Now let's talk about comfort. And oh, I forgot to mention this plastic piece here when I was going to do my walk around. I love this. This is the styling of this bike is also really good. I love the way it looks. I'm so surprised the way it looks. It's just so cool looking. And it has a mental, well, you can't see it, there's no sun, but a metal flake blue paint on it. If I get my hand out of there, it is really nice. We talked about suspension. Let's talk about the seat. The seat surprisingly is good, but you know, your mileage may vary. And there's actually some storage under the seat. It does come with, there are saddlebags available from Honda for this. And the other thing about the size of this bike, the 1100cc, aren't smaller bikes better, Scott? I thought you had a V-Strom 650 and things like that. I will tell you that yes, the medium-sized bikes are the way to go. I'm not going to belittle them in any way and saying, oh, you got to get a big 1000cc bike. No. Well, Scott, why don't you have a smaller bike? Well, actually, I own a KTM 890 SMT, and that's my small bike for hooligan purposes and being a jerk. This one is my long-term touring bike that I like, but because I'm 6'4" and 220 pounds, I just have a better synergy with a bigger bike. This bike reminds me a lot of the V-Strom 1000. I love that bike. The adventure bikes fit me. I'm tall, and the adventure bikes are perfect for me. I love them. But there's one huge caveat: the 19 or 21 inch front wheel. Screw that. I do not want those. That's the thing. Yeah, I was riding the 1000 too fast, beyond its limits. But the only thing that stopped me from going any further was that damn 19-inch front wheel. Those things are, you know, if you're not going off-road at all, don't get those bikes. And I have been on dirt roads and fire roads on this bike. It's not like you can't go off-road, you know, on a regular motorcycle. You can. But if you're not going around the world, if you're not, you know, doing that kind of shit, there is no point in having that. 17-inch wheel is much more safer. It is much more contact patch in the turns, better in the rain. And then all these guys, well, you got more suspension travel. It's a much better ride. No, f that. Not when you make the bike top heavy. The adventure bikes are tall. They have huge gas tanks. They're top heavy. And guess what happens? You blow around in the wind. I've been in other occasions with my other adventure bikes where I've been caught in the wind, and it has been a nightmare. I got on this bike and I took it to my wind test zone, which is Highway 166 between Santa Maria and Highway 33. There were tornado devils and semi-trucks, and I just cruised along with not a worry in my heart. So those are kind of the reasons behind getting this bike. As far as me and what I've ridden all my life, I prefer a regular motorcycle. And there's not much in the sports touring market. You know, I was actually looking at a FJR 1300, and a lot of these are getting expensive. You know, that was like 18 grand. Kawasaki has a Versus 1000 that's 18 grand. Just want to say that I have this bag off to the side because this is the parking brake for the DCT. Yes, this is an automatic bike. Scott, how could you get a DCT? Oh my God, you've gone against everything that we stand for in motorcycling. Well, I'm here to tell you that it is wonderful. It's so great. This DCT, though, unlike other systems, reminds me of a PDK at a Porsche. It is buttery smooth. It is fantastic. And a lot of people I think a lot of testers and people who look at it, you know, they drive around in automatic mode and they try to second guess, oh gosh, it shifted 5 seconds before I wanted, or 5 seconds after, or did this and did that. I'm in D without the sports mode. This is kind of the default mode for this, and I feel that it chugs the engine out too much. It's great for highway cruising. It's great for when you don't have any gas. But most of the time I will ride in a sports mode, and you have 3 sports mode right here. So I can put, and I like 2, so I can put it in 2. It just hangs onto the gears a little bit more and revs it up. And there is there's engine braking, and then there's modes for engine power. And I was trying to adjust it so it wouldn't be so herky-jerky in town, and I was messing around with the engine braking. Was actually the power mode. And switching it to urban, which I'll do now, which lowers the power mode, and what it does essentially, in my mind, kind of equals out the power with the engine braking, and then it's a dream. It's a dream. That's my sweet spot. Sports mode 2 and urban. It's just, I will ride along all day in this sometimes, so it is great. Let's open her up in urban. But then there's manual mode, which is just sweet. I mean, you get the 2 buttons here. It's important to understand also that you can, while you're in automatic mode, you can shift down or shift up if you don't like what gear you're in. So it's a really convenient system, and they've had 10 years to develop it, and I like it a lot more than the other automatic stuff that's coming out now. And it's such a great thing for touring, because one of the things that you do deal with when you're touring is fatigue. Tank is a little bit smaller than the African Twin Sports. I think the African Twin Sport model can do like 300 miles. This, I would say, if you ride conservatively, you'll get a good 250 out of it. So, and low compression, it's regular fuel, regular gas. Alright, we're gonna make this light. So we talked about gas, talked about the suspension. Now the windscreen does offer a lot of protection. I like it. But I think with all windscreens, if you're having a problem with it, don't replace it. Just get a spoiler. That usually solves 99% of the time. That will solve your problem. So what else? The dash. This works really well if you just take the time to learn it. It's not that big of a deal. And the thing is, with me, you set it and forget it. Have I monkeyed around with this too much? I've changed the mode in the sport mode. That's all I've done. And there's also different display modes that you can, so Urban's actually looks different by default, but I switch it to this because I like it. There's a lot of flexibility here. I have put the phone here and attached it and seen the map up here, and it's great, works fine. It's just that I don't feel the need to use it in places where I know I'm going. I wanted to take you on a mountain road, you know, to show you how the DC works automatically, but hopefully you're getting kind of a sense of it. I've just been cruising along here, urban with Sport 2, Not even thinking about it. I think the other thing that you need to understand with this bike is that you can use the brakes to do slow maneuvers and things like that, where people might bring in the clutch to do that. I do fit on this bike. My knee is below my hip. It's obviously not as much leg room as an adventure bike, but it's not cramped. And the pegs are a little bit more forward. They're not back, so it is a very comfortable sitting position. You are a little bit lean forward just slightly. I have raised the bars just a little bit because I'm so tall. You don't want to be down here. But I feel that this bike, oh, what a shot. I feel this bike would work for short and tall riders. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you're short, this bike is good for you because it's not an adventure bike. You can put your feet down. Oh my gosh, all these nubs and foundations. This is weird. Again, notice I am not worrying about my clutch or what I'm doing. It's just plugging along, and I'm able to look and at the scenery and not think about my transmission. Wow. You're not going to get any fire insurance in California, I'll tell you that. So it looks like the hill has kind of grown back, but the stuff just got demolished. So this happened, what, like 6 months ago in January? So it's August now. And you can see the state of repair it is in. Or the status, if you were curious about me. Wow, look at the burnt car. That's cool. Oh, look at the van. Oh, the Porsche. Oh my God, the Porsche.
No! No! No!
That's terrible. Now I'm gonna grieve for that Porsche. That's f***ing wild. Wow, to see a burned out Porsche 911. Jeez. I bet it was really cool too. Special order with an interior, wheels in paint. And now it's just a big burnt piece of metal. This is fun, guys. Thanks for coming along with me on our trip down Hellscape Lane. Wow, look at this. This is just, wow. Should we get up and get going? Look at that shifting for me. Look at that. All right, now we're just in a big traffic jam. I might pull over and just end the video here. Oh gosh, this is awful. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions about a Honda 2025 Honda NT1100, please leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer those questions. And I will have to say one thing about the DCT stop and go traffic. It is a godsend. And I'll just end on that. See you guys.